Welcome back, everybody, to Railbirds TV and the 2025 International Open 9-Ball event. This is a race to 10. It's double elimination, which means it's a true double elimination, alternate break, all ball fouls. There is a referee covering 4 tables, so he will be there, but it's also down to the player to call the foul on themselves or the opponent. The break box is in effect. Jump cues are allowed, and this is a WNT ranking event. I am your host, Scott Frost, and that is not Scott Frost, but close enough. And I'll be covering this match for you. 75,000 added, 35,000 up top, $750 entry fee. I'd say this is a pretty solid tournament. Johnny Archer, the player of the decade in the 90s, versus, well, a young, straight-shooting Shane Wolford. Game number 1. And that is not the start that the Scorpion is looking for. We are playing on 9-foot diamond tables. They are the Blue Label, 4.5-inch pockets, fresh Simonis HR860 Tour Blue. And then, of course, the Aramith Duramuth balls. I don't believe this might be the TV set. Yesterday they tricked me and had the dark purple 4-ball out there. Both of these players have a loss. Eric Roberts beat Wolford 10 games to 5. Eric Roberts, young, talented, and capable. And there is the purple 4. Well hit. Stayed in nice range on the 5. Arseny Stavestyanov, one of my favorite players to watch, is playing in this event, and he defeated Johnny Archer 10 games to 1. If you're not familiar, Arseny lost to David Alcady just recently in the Philippines at the Philippine Open. Another thing Arseny has done, beat Shane Van Boening to put him on the one-loss side at the U.S. Open last year. Really woke the crowd and myself up, because we really didn't know who he was at the time. You really don't need to come back much here. Very natural down to the 8. I like using the left long rail somewhere around the chalk or just above the chalk. Just helps control the pace a little bit more of the cue ball. And you take away the lower left corner. You can just go 2 rails forward if you want to go to the left side. You're not forced to come back out and play it in the corner. These side pockets are pretty forgiving. Looks like he's choosing to come out to the middle. Yeah, kind of fooled me there. I would have played it possibly to the second rail. Maybe he was afraid of being below it a little too much. Wolford takes game number 1 off a break and scratch by Johnny Archer. Pretty interesting numbers down there. Johnny Archer, a 753. Shane Wolford, 768. They got Wolford at a 68% favorite to win this match. About 20 years ago, I bet that Archer's Fargo was a little higher. I promise you, folks, if you're newer to the generations, or newer to the game, he could really play. It's just a whole different world now. The level of play and the amount of quality players is really staggering. Okay, that's an interesting sign. Both players missing the side pocket, the one hitting the same spot in each break shot. I didn't see if the wing ball went down or if you just got a kiss on a ball that went down in the lower right. I believe he's got a lot of pockets for the two. He's got the side and he might have this lower left corner. Now he's got options, but going to the side, he might have to hit it with a little pace because the cue ball's tracking towards the purple 4, I believe. So he'd like to just drift it down here in the lower left or maybe come off the left long rail. Oh, stayed down real well. Also opens the pocket up a bit when you hit it at that pace. Kind of at the 50-yard line here. There's nothing wrong with the right side. Just a low outside ball. Yeah, notice the cue ball, how well it bit right there. I've talked about that since day one, and day one it bit just like that. You don't see it a lot with fresh cloth, typically going to slide a bit off of that rail. Something I do like about this atmosphere. We're in St. Augustine, Florida, where the humidity is a little higher than other parts of the country. Even though it's wintertime, believe me, there's humidity, and we're in a bigger room here, which carries a little bit more moisture. So the ball is going to act a bit more true. A little more distance maybe than he was looking for. Often guys will go to the second rail just to make sure they get back out towards the middle. Yeah, looking rock solid so far. Feel like this table plays right into his style as well. Wolford takes game number 2. Do us a favor, guys. If you get a chance, I was a little late in posting the link and the thumbnail, but if you get a chance, share the stream. Also like, share, and subscribe. Railbirds TV. Hit the notification bell. Greatly appreciate it. Scott Frost, the Freezer, on Facebook. The Freezer is in quotation marks. Posting all the links there and on my Instagram page, which is Scott Frost Official. Just share it for me. I'd really appreciate it. 1 out of about 50 of you will do it, but I'm happy with anybody doing it. I'm happy that any of you are tuning in. J.A. needs to hit this break shot a little bit better. Yeah, and he definitely did there. It's a good sign, and he's going to get a real sweet look on the blue. 3-6 combo is natural to the right side. Yeah, so he made a great adjustment. Got a real nice flick off the brown 7, or the maroon 7. Kind of twerked his head like he wasn't thrilled with the 3-6, but really, that's pretty much the only line you have here. Just stay well above the 7. You don't want to let up on this swing. You want to be pretty much straight on the 3. Yeah, well done. I actually think that's better. It's on the high side of it. Now you can get better on the 3. I would hesitate to elevate here. Yeah, leveled out. Yeah, I don't mind just rolling the way he did there. Purple 4 is next, lower left. Just smooth this in to the side. Entry fee is 10% of the added money. $750 entry fee. 75,000 added. Hope everybody's having a wonderful Thursday out there. Looks like he's falling perfect here. I don't know if any of you are familiar with a player named Little John. He's more of an action player, but he plays a lot of rotation pool. Way back in the day when Johnny was playing at his best, we were on the road together. Johnny gave this guy the 3, 6, 7, 9, and the break on a tight table. He ended up losing, but it was hill. Just to give you an idea, Little John can really play. Especially rotation, that's Little John's best game. So it just gives you an idea how good Johnny played in his day. Now, I get it. The level of player nowadays is just a whole nother breed, but Johnny was definitely capable of putting 10, 12 racks together on a 9-footer. Equipment nowadays has definitely gotten a little bit tighter, especially on the tours. I am a huge fan of 4-inch pockets. Now, this is an open event, so that wouldn't fly as much, at least for what they're doing here, but I'm a big fan of it. Creates more of the game. Both players have made the adjustment. This is what we see a lot of, though, the cue ball. Getting a kiss, finishing low. 4 finished in a funny spot here on the left side. And it's always off the bottom of the 9, which was tracking to the left side. The orange 5 stopped it. 9 on the break does count. He's acting like he can make this in the upper right. Now is he looking at the side? Or if that's the case, I would consider just really shaving this thin and going up to the upper left corner somehow. Yeah, I felt like that was a tall order. Yeah, real tall order here at that speed. You've got to hit it dead center. His follow-up shot wasn't going to be any picnic on the purple 4. It's got a couple of options here. Can just chip this to the center bottom rail here, or the center diamond on the bottom rail, and maybe go up behind the orange 5. I don't know about attacking. So maybe looking to use the 7 and send the 3 up table, or maybe use the 6. 6 is good. You can bank the 3 up the upper left. Yeah, well done. Tell you what, Johnny does not look bad at the table so far. I'm a Shane Wolford fan. I feel like he's loaded with talent. One of the greatest guys there is. Great family. Great Great pool room in Connecticut, Wolfstead. Excuse me, Roanoke. I believe this is cuttable. But if he's going to make contact with the 4, it can get a little funny. Yeah, I think you've got to attack here, unless you think you can shave the 3 on the bottom end and somehow tuck behind the 6. Hard to tell from my view. I actually like the idea. Tried to pound it, send the 4 one rail back over the left side. He actually did hit it at a pretty good pace. Yeah, I felt like it was easier to make that ball leveled out. Just take what you got. Got a good angle to get down for the green. Nice swing. Timing real good. His timing looks very good right now, to me. Johnny's doesn't look bad either, to be fair. Arsini had to play real good to beat Johnny 10 games to 1. Of course, Johnny could have had a bad match. Shane's best finish so far this year. Took third in the mini derby 9-ball event at Rail Yard Billiards in Louisville, Kentucky, owned by Kyle Ferguson. Great pool room. Great pool room owner. X-Pool. Wolford going to take game number 4, off and running. Alternate brake format, I believe it's the correct format for this equipment. Otherwise, I feel like it could get away from you if you're on the opposite end of the package. The way these guys brake nowadays, typically real high percentages making the one in the side. A little bit old school, right? The alternate brake format, but when I'm working the World 9-Ball Tour, the WNT, we just don't see a lot of packages. I mean, I think at the World Championships in Saudi Arabia, I think there was a $5,000 bonus for whoever ran the most racks. I believe Johan Chua and Carlo Beato both ran 5. And that is incredible on 4-inch pockets. Everything kind of has to lay right for that to happen, and you have to play well. It's not very common to break and run 5 racks on the tour with 4-inch pockets. Breaking and running 2 is not always very common. Tell you what, he's definitely worked on his brake shot. It's improved a lot. The 5.7, a little funky in the upper left, and getting on the 4 is going to be a challenge. He's drawed the cue ball twice above the 9 here, which is really the goal. Better to catch the top side of the 9 than the bottom side, in my opinion. You're going to probably have to take distance here if he wants to play the 3. Purple 4 is next. Center diamond on the right long rail. Yeah. Caught it too heavy there, that inside spin. And he was stretched. Probably a little bit concerned about the distance he had to have on the 4 to begin with. Might have to thump this one. I got way more out of it than I thought he could. I know he caught it thin to the left side of the knuckle, but I did not think you could get that much out of it. He's landed perfect, really, because he can go forward here now. I think you were more accurate with a high ball. Yeah, no question. Did finish in the final 13 of the 9-ball, the Derby last year. Shane has the capabilities of getting real deep in an event like that. I felt like for the last several years that he was just going to kind of break through, but in his defense, there's other things he likes to do in life. He's also an outdoorsman, but he loves to play poker at a pretty high level as well. You know who Shane Wolford is. You also know that he has no problem getting the bet up there. He has no problem getting it out of the mud. He will gamble. Out of all the pool players, I think he is, without question, probably at the top of that food chain. Here is the 3 that was kind of chunked. It looked like the elbow cocked in just a bit there. That was dead perfect. Yeah, some big years for Johnny Archer. Even in the early 2000s. 2003 made $140,000. 2004 Johnny made $95,000. 2005 $110,000. 2006 $137,000. 75 and 2007. Really started to take the nosedive around 2010. You could see a little bit of a trend there. It's going to happen to everybody as far as your game falling off. It has something to do with age. Really nice hit there. Cue ball tracking 3 rails, had to have caught a kiss. Is this a two-way play? Looks like the carom's potentially on to the lower left, but I think he's got to focus on the 2. Yeah, I don't blame him there. Really well with the cue ball just sticking. Yeah, a little left spin on it here. You can see the rotation on the cue ball. I think he was trying to turn the 9 downward, actually. Looked like he was catching the 9 a bit thin, so that left spin would help it throw down. It's all right. I feel like that's spraying on him a little bit. I thought he was going to the left side, but maybe he just wanted to get all the way over here to ensure a look to the upper left. If he didn't get, if the concern was to get short on the 5 on the left side, then you have to work the cue ball to get to the 6. Now he's kind of in the middle. I think he's flirting with the side if he just goes straight forward. Don't think that Shane can't get up there in the points in the money list. If he wanted to. 2023, he earned $62,000. Used all of the pocket there to create the angle off the left long rail. Very good. That is a benefit to a little bigger pocket. Corey Wolford in the cowboy hat. Shane's father, owner of the Wolf's Den in Roanoke, Virginia. Yeah, look at that bite. I really like it. Coming off hot and biting very well. Oftentimes on fresh cloth, you might want to go 2 rails tight out of the upper right there. Not here. Wolford takes a 5-1 lead in game number 6. In 2023, like I said, he earned $61,000. Talking about Shane Wolford, $61,270, and that's really when he was in the run and in the chase for the Moscone Cup. He did make the team, and in London, I felt like he played quite well for his very first year. Following year, Woodward became captain, and Wolford did not make the team. In Wolford's defense, so to speak, I don't know that he really played a lot of events the following year. Qualify. Nice break here. Been consistent with the 1. Other than the 3 ball in the upper right, I don't really remember much that Johnny's done wrong, except for scratch on the break in game 1. He's got to look to the upper left. Is the right side pocket a problem, or is he going at the 4? He'd like to go at the 4 if he's just leveled out. Yeah, he might be able to miss the 4 and just get past the side. Is pocket going to take this? I believe it's... I thought that might fall. Jump cues are allowed. 7's quite a ways from the cue ball here. He's going to have to get off the ground a bit. jump this cue ball off the table once it makes contact with the 2. Yeah, I don't know if that was a little bit of a miss hit, if he was going directly at it to just draw it back, or if he was trying to use the left long rail at the same time. Still a great hit just to get it down. Tall order to just draw that straight back. You got to expect he was aiming just a tick more left to use the long rail. Don't know if this is bankable, but it's possible on this table. Yes, it is. Table plays real sweet to shorten the ball up. Taking advantage of the errors from Archer. You'd have to make Wolford a pretty decent favorite. I'd actually say Fargo was on the money this time with their percentages at the beginning of this match. Yeah, I don't know. He's probably got enough angle to miss the 9 here, just going 1 rail up. Doesn't want to have to go 2 rails. I think he's fine. Elevating a little tells me he's a little straighter than he wanted to be. All ball fouls. I don't think the 9's a big problem, but it's always in your line of sight when you're over the ball like this. Yeah, I look at how the balls are entering the pocket, and typically with Shane, it's usually clean, and it's been very clean this match. Yeah, so the missed ball to the upper left. Blue 2 by Archer. It's going to come back to haunt him. Game number 7 going to go to Wolford. 6 games to 1, and he is on the run. Not bad. Not the greatest, but got the 1 down. He's thin on this too. Maybe just a tip of left here. Well, he took a chance there, just trying to go up and down. No outside spin at all. A little surprised. Yeah, definitely a little surprised. Yeah, I don't believe he's got a pocket. Yeah, just going to chip this, I believe, and use the 5. Didn't know if he could catch it that thin to use the 8. Felt like trying to get him up behind the 5 really cuts everything off because it's very tough to keep Shane off a piece of the 3, but it's close. Yeah, it's really now or never. For J.A. Boy, he kind of just stunned that ball out. Felt like he might want to get a little closer to the 4. No, he handled it well. Must have been a little better than I thought there. Like to be on the right side of the table here for the green 6. He did miss the 3 in the upper right with an inside ball, but it will bite enough to get somewhere parallel with the right side pocket. He's just going to go back and forth or to the lower left side of the table, which is fine. Somewhere around the middle diamond. Yeah, he felt like right at contact, he overhit it a little bit and was going to fall straight. He turned out perfect. Just steer clear of that yellow and white ball. Yeah, maybe the inside ball has got him a little sharked now that he's missed the 3 in the upper right, but he had a big stretch there. You've got to play an inside ball here, just to the right of the 9. Aggressive swing there coming to the second rail. I like it. Thought he was tracking towards the side there, but no broken bones. Archer going to make it to 2. Somebody in the crowd liked it. They've got him at an 8% dog to win the match. Here's the 2 ball. I felt like he'd want to put a touch of right on that ball just to get out to the left of the 5. This was always the concern, especially going in between the 8 and 5. Took a big chance. Johnny played a defensive shot from there and earned ball in hand. Tell you what, he's got a nice break shot. I don't know if the 6 is in the way, but it looks like it's spoiled the party. I really like the way he hits the balls. I know a lot of people don't like racking the 9 on the spot. I think this is the solution, though, because you cannot guarantee where the 2 is going. It's random rack the 2. It has to be on one of the 3 lower corners, the right wing, the left wing, or the bottom ball. You cannot rack it in the same place twice, or you shouldn't. I think he's called the rollout here. With the 4-5 the way it is, I would consider leaving him up table somewhere with maybe like a rail first, but this is going to leave him straight in. Yeah, I felt like it was dangerous coming all the way down here. And even if you do get the snooker on the 7, Shane's going to probably have a good kick and stick or some type of safety, so wasn't a fan of coming down low there at all. Felt like up high, maybe towards the top left diamond, leaving some type of rail first kick. But it was all about the 4 and 5, right? You kind of had an opportunity there to play some type of 2-way, just because it's a little bit of an insurance. Coming down Adam, doesn't want to catch a piece of the 4. He'll go in the drink. Don't believe this plays on the right side. Can you just softly cut this to the right? And he's trying to catch a piece of it. He would have gone in the drink if he did. It does play in the side. What a shot. Elevated. Check the cue ball straight back. Yeah, I do not know if that ball skid at all, but it didn't look like he put any follow on it. It was almost like he just put kind of a center ball and it never had time to rotate forward. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, he hit it right where he aimed, right? Kind of just a center ball, didn't ever get through it. Maybe in the back of his mind, scared of following it too much. Needs a little help. Yeah, I don't know here. Consider just using the 9. But with a 6-2 lead, maybe he's considering the side. I like this, actually. Forget about the 9, just leave him distance and on the bottom rail. Very tough to introduce the 9 there from where he was, to be fair, unless you want to hit it thick back and forth. Tough predicament here. The great players will kick and stick behind this 8, basically like you're playing the 8 to the right side. If you catch it before the side, the 8 should finish down low somewhere around the center diamond down here. This is just really a traditional shot all the elite players play. You didn't see them playing it quite as much back in the day, but it was prevalent even then. I think it's your best opportunity to get away with this. The key to this shot is not to overhit it. A lot of guys feel like you've got to hit it harder to hold that cue ball. It's really not about that. you can stick the cue ball at really about 10% pace. It's just about being level with a real high ball. High ball acts as low once it contacts a cushion. Good speed, just caught it too deep. And if we think about it, right, how short these rails are playing and how easy they bite, that's probably part of it. Cue ball really grabbed off that back rail. Just level out here and come around. That needs to chill. All right, he's going to bank this to the left side. Got it done. Wolford in game number 9, leading 7 games to 2. Playing it past. Okay, so he milled. Well, the 2-ball almost stopped just in the nick of time. I don't know if he can see a sliver of it or not. He's acting like he can. Well, he'd love to knock it out in front of the 8 and just get up behind the 3 if he could. Well, that's how thin it was. He used the 6. Pretty sweet. Very hard to avoid the 9. That's how thin he had to hit it. Quickly down. Gonna fray him at this. All right, take the pot with position. Apology accepted. Excellent hit, in my opinion. A little bit of frustration, probably, but I do get it. I've been there a few times. Didn't want to end up elevated, but this is great. Does have the lower right corner. He's got the lower left corner as well, but I feel like you can just pinch backwards a little bit and you're good to the lower left. Gonna punch out. That works. That's even easier. Didn't feel like he had that much angle. Wow, and there's that max spin again. Just about cut the 8 a little too thin. Caught the high side of the pocket. You could see the cue ball turning way before contact. Game number 11 goes to Archer. He's hanging on by a thread. Not out of it by any means yet, though. This is incredibly thin, this hit. 2 didn't travel a foot. Here is the kick to the side. Got a favorable kiss on the 3.
Once again, I'm so glad to see you all here. Hope you're enjoying some great pool so far. I can't believe it's day 7. We've had some amazing.
Yeah, you'd like to break and run here.
And this one here, we're giving away this set of Airman.
It's a start. Where's the 2 finish?
To win. So I'm just seeing how people are paying attention.
I cannot tell if he can get a piece of it or not. If he can, you might be okay. Really, once again, like the hit. Very consistent. Back and forth, 2 rails above the 9, just catching a piece of it. When you're 2 away from the hill, or excuse me, when you're 2 games away from the match, or 1 away from the hill, you're just not quite comfortable, right? Obviously, that last game getting onto the hill makes a big difference. And when you're in Johnny's shoes, it's more so that way. I was always of the thought process, as long as they're not on the hill, I can still come back, even in the alternate break format. Things can change. Momentum, everything can change. Motivation as well. Okay, he can make this to the upper left if he decides to. Yeah, a little thin. Here is your chance. Just do not want to catch this ball too thick. Can always fool you a bit. And being over the 6 doesn't make things easier. You catch it too thick, you can end up right behind a 4 and 8.
1930 City Banks champion and the 2024 Battle of the Bull 9-ball champion and 6-time member of Team USA. Sponsored by Mucci, Action 247, and Maiden Billiards.
This looks pretty darn good. Really nice control there.
And his opponent is the two-time top 3 Derby City 9-ball and sponsored by Kamui. Make some noise.
Oh, I believe that's Trina.
For Mr. Jeremy Susi.
Trina Wolford, that's Shane's mom. Just left of his father, Corey. I'm slow, it takes me a while. Does he have an angle here to just come back straight down? Does he have to spin this with a low outside? This will work. I don't feel like Johnny's played terrible. He's hung a couple of balls up. He missed the 3, hung the 2 up in the upper left. Broken scratch on rack 1, but he's only missed a couple of balls. Shane's missed a couple as well. He's just kind of gotten away with it a little bit more. I do believe Shane's played a bit better. Didn't really want to fall straight. The 9's in a good position. No concerns. Back when ESPN was still involved in pool, Johnny won the sudden death 7-ball. Do we all remember that? You have to be kind of a little bit older like the freezer to remember that. Sudden death 7-ball on ESPN, paid $25,000. Yeah, a little thin here. They're forgiving pockets, but you still have to catch the inside of that knuckle. Something I love about these diamond tables. Probably my favorite thing about the diamond table is the deep shelf. And obviously the angle of the pocket and how they're cut. That's really the secret recipe. Diamond tables. Not out of it. He's got a little bit more work to do, though. I think if he could get to 6, he'd start to put a little pressure on Shane, but at the moment, I don't think Shane's feeling any heat. Needs a good look here. Wow. I mean, really liked the way those balls were hit. Didn't look like he pounded them either. It was just the contact on the 1. Those balls exploded. It actually looked like he took some speed off of the break shot there. And he did take some speed off. That's what happens when you catch them real square. The timing's good. I could refer to Shane Van Boning and his break shot. When we're talking about timing, most people think Shane's breaking 22, 23, 24 mile an hour, especially back when he was playing 10-ball. It was far from that. He was more at the 16, 17, 18 mile an hour range at tops, and he'll be the first to tell you that. It was how square he was hitting the one. Those balls would just explode. His timing was so good. Just going to pinch back here. Can he get to the left long rail? Oh, he's got quick in the backswing, I think. I don't know. It looked a little short stroke there to me, which means it looked a bit quick. Hard to tell. He's not happy about it. That was definitely an unforced error. Yeah, the Q-tip definitely come out of the bridge hand. Just didn't expect that miss. Johnny's been pretty good from close range. I'll remind everybody, this is the one-loss side. This is a true double elimination. Archer lost 10 racks to 1 to Arseny Seveshianov. Wolford lost 10 racks to 5 to Eric Roberts. That's another player I just can't put my finger on. I worked with him a lot. Back when I had the pool room, he and his father Brian would come see me. The last 3 or 4 years, I felt like Eric Roberts was going to break through because he's got the capabilities of beating any human on Earth. He just hasn't broken through. I know it's between the ears for that young man. And when it's between the ears, not a lot is going to help you. You're the one that has to make that decision to move forward. Shane Wolford, finally on the hill. Yeah, it's the sweetest break shot of the match so far. No questions asked. Took a little pace off. Made 3 balls on the break with a good look at the 3. No excuse here. Just missed the 5 straight into the rail. Either took his eye off of it or something happened in the swing. Maybe a little tight in the backhand because the cue did come off the bridge hand. Well, the 9. Getting heavy movement there. Then to the left side if he chooses to take it on. I don't know if it even plays. Yeah, once again the 9 tracking to the left side. The last time it was the 5 that cut the 9 off. This time it was the 7. Yeah, is he kind of looking at the two-way here, going at the 9, going at the 3 and the 6, both to the sides? Yeah, I believe he was. Just off the mark for both of them. This might be your last opportunity, Mr. Archer. A little thick on the 6 and a little thin on the 3. So that tells me if you hit it where you're supposed to make it, you might have made them both. Yeah, so a few careless mistakes by Johnny. The 3 in the upper right. Really no excuse to miss it, even though he was using an extreme inside. The 3 was close to the pocket. Then obviously the 5 in the same corner. Missed the 2 to the upper left after the break shot. Got punished on all 3 of those misses. And that is the difference in your scoreline. The 6 does play to the upper right. I mean, the only way it could go wrong is if you overdraw it off this right long rail. But you should really never be anywhere that far back out. But I believe you do want to come to the right long rail. It's going to help slow the cue ball down a bit. This will work. It's not the end of the world. Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be thin here. Can you avoid contact with the 8? Might actually want a little contact with the 8. Unless he thinks he can draw this 1, 2, 3, 4 short way. Basically, with a low right ball just below the left side. Then somewhere around where the chalk just was, to the top rail, then to the left long rail, back out. But you have to pound it if you're going to do that. Okay, he's leveled out. Quick. There's no question that final swing was quick. Just a bit uncomfortable, I'm sure. Caught it fat. Maybe a little concerned he was going to catch a piece of the 8 there. One shot away from advancing. Yeah, pretty good, pretty good. He's got the side now and just drift forward. Wolford will advance. Archer on the short bus home. I didn't feel like he played terrible. Wolford played pretty solid. A couple of mistakes from each guy. Both of them broke well. But in the end, Wolford was the better player. Archer is gone. Shane still alive. Thank you all. Should be back tonight. Don't quote me. I believe tonight will be 6:30 my time. Yeah, 7:30. No, excuse me. Let me see here. Well, we'll be back later this evening. How about that? Don't have it.
This is This is the Railbirds producer cutting in here. Yeah, we will be back at 9:30 Eastern Time, 7:30 Mountain Time, 6:30 Pacific Time, etc. Take it away, Scott.
Perfect. Thank you guys very much for tuning in. Share away. We'll be back this evening. Thank you all. Talk to you soon.